So I went on a school camping trip the for the past 3 days. Got back last night, and basically it was going around like the Minnesota, like eastern Minnesota area. And I want to talk to you guys about it because it was pretty cool. Um, Now, if you're not from northern Minnesota or you're not from Minnesota at all, I'm gonna have to explain a lot. So I'm gonna be explaining a lot. So, this school year, one of my teachers had proposed that she takes a bunch of kids and goes on a camping trip over by Ely. I don't know if you know where that is, but Ely's a great place. I like it. It's kind of a touristy town, and there's a lot of stuff to do. And so the plan was sleeping in tents, however many kids, like 7 kids, would be brought along. 6 kids ended up going, myself included. 1 did not show up. It was me, 4 of my friends, and an acquaintance of mine. And we all knew each other pretty well. So we were going to be spending the next 3 days staying in tents. So here's how it was going to go. We were going to go to a place called the Soudan Mine, not spelled the same as the country Sudan. It's Soudan, I think it's how it's spelled. Also, I just realized, where did I put my... Oh, there it is. I had a sticker on my water bottle that was of the Soudan Mine, because there were free stickers there, but they're paper stickers, so they couldn't stay on my water bottle, and I just tore it off. So, first thing we did was we went to the Soudan Mine, and that's right, I'm still explaining what happened, like what the plan was. So the plan was to go to the Soudan Mine and such, but we couldn't do the underground mine tours because June 19th of this year, something happened, and like when I say the mine completely flooded, I mean it completely flooded. And like, it's a big old mine. Big mine. And so, like, it had underground, basically, dams. And said underground dams, they suspect they broke, and it just completely flooded it. And like, while we were there, I'll explain it later, actually. So like in the letter it said, yada yada yada, no longer doing the Soudan underground mine tour because canceled because of flooding. And then, like I will explain, there was also going to be the teacher, and her son was going to be a chaperone. Well, that didn't go according to plan, because her son, when I say last minute, I mean like the day before we were gonna leave, it got jury duty. And it was gonna be during the trip, so like he couldn't go along, and the teacher had one of 2 options: find another chaperone, or postpone the trip. Well, so she asked my mom and was like, is my dad free to chaperone? And my mom was like, no, he's working. My mom was like, I could take time off to chaperone. So boom, my mom was the new chaperone. And so yeah, we got in the van and went all the way to Ely, stopping in Grand Rapids, not Michigan, Grand Rapids, Minnesota, which is also where Judy Garland is from. We did not stop at the Judy Garland Museum. We just drove through Grand Rapids. And I talked about going to the Judy Garland Museum before. So, let's talk about, so we went to the Soudan Mine and did the stuff around there, and it was a really cool place. Like, it was really cool. And they were saying stuff about like how they can't do the underground tours but wish they could. Um, and like the shaft that brought the cars and whatever down, like we saw it in operation because like they were bringing people down there to work on it, to replace some of the machinery that was damaged by the flooding, and to look at the machinery to see, like, you get what I'm saying. We didn't see them, but like we didn't look down the shaft, but we could feel the air rushing up from the shaft, and it was like 40 degrees. And the hot day it was that day, 40-degree air was so nice. So nice. And so then we we heard and saw the rope like towing a cart or a car down with people in it to like look on the stuff, and we could hear them talking even though they were like 800 feet below us. We could hear them talking. It was just echoing up, and so that's where we were able to hear them, even though they were like literally 800 feet there, or down the shaft. Yeah. So then we went to the campsite, set up the tents. It was going to be 4 tents, my mom, the teacher, and then us kids. Like I mentioned, 1 kid did not show up, so it was just 6 kids, 2 adults. And so here was the plan. It was going to be me and then 2 of my friends in 1 tent, and then 2 of my other friends and the 1 acquaintance in the other. And one of my friends was like, hey, I'm gonna bunk with you guys. And so it was the 4 of us in 1 tent. It was a little cramped, but it was a big tent, so it was fine. We didn't have any air mattresses, so we slept on the cold tent floor, and it wasn't very pleasant. I didn't get much sleep. I didn't get the greatest sleep during the trip. But anyway, so this was Tuesday the 6th that we got there and then slept and woke up. And then the 7th was the friend who bunked with us. It was his birthday that day. And when we were planning the camping trip and like told about it in the school, my friend was like, hey, I'm going to be turning 18 during the camping trip. And I was like, we should take you to the casino because that's what my brother did during his 18th birthday. And the teacher said, nope. Like, she was in the room, she was like, yeah, no. And she didn't say no to a lottery ticket, so I got him a lottery ticket. Of course, I didn't buy it because I'm not 18. I had my mom buy it, and then I put in a card, had my friend sign the card, and then sealed it, and then gave it to him. Like, we woke up, and I was like, here, take your card. He didn't win anything, sadly. So then we also, so we woke up that day and we did the wolf exhibit, like the Wolf Center, it's called. I wouldn't really recommend it if you're visiting like the Ely area. It was pretty boring. It was cool to see the wolves that they had on site, but other than that, it was just, like, it was just, But my favorite part was the Dorothy Moulter Museum. Now, I've actually been to the Dorothy Moulter Museum before this, and so I knew it. I went there just last year with my dad, stepmom, and brother. And it was, I liked the museum. It's really cool, and the teacher wanted to do it because she had never been, and so it's like, I have a bar of soap, that I got at the museum when I was there last year. It's a lot smaller than it was, but it's root beer scented soap and it smells really good. It smells just like the taste of the root beer. Yeah. Basically, if you don't know who Dorothy Moulter is, unless if you live in the Minnesota area, especially northern Minnesota or the eastern Minnesota area, I doubt that you know who she is. So let me explain. Dorothy Malter was a woman who lived in Pennsylvania. She moved out to Minnesota, to Ely, and like eventually stayed in the Boundary Waters on a property. There's a mosquito or something. And she lived on a property with a guy and he was getting old, and he invited her on there because she was a nurse, certified nurse. And he was like, all right, when I die, you can have the property. And so he died, she got the property. And she was the last non-Indigenous American to live in the Boundary Waters. And she died in the 1980s. And what they did when she died was they took the cabins that were on her island in the Boundary Waters and brought it over to Ely, because that's basically like, it was kind of like I don't know. And then they reconstructed it in Ely and turned it into a museum. So like, we went in the actual cabins, but not actual cabins, pretty much. And if you don't know what the Boundary Waters are, they're basically an area where, it's kind of, it's not untouched by humans. It's an area in Minnesota where they are super strict on what you can use there. Like, if you go there, you have to carry around your garbage, your human waste, your stuff like that. It's supposed to be like an untouched, sacred area. So like, you cannot use gas-powered vehicles or electric-powered vehicles. It's just you and nature. That's pretty much it. I really like the idea. And so yeah, the Dorothy Malter Museum, it was really cool. And so like, the teacher, she was gonna get like the root beer making kit for all of us to make, but it would take like 3 days to make it, and we were only camping for one other day, so she just got 2 6-packs of root beer, while one of the kids, the acquaintance who was on the trip, got a 24-pack of root beer. It was $30, $3.25 for just a bottle, $10 for a 6-pack, and $30 for a 24-pack. And so, like, we had a lot of root beer. I didn't have much root beer. Like, I only had a few. But, like, a 24-pack. And basically, a 24-pack was just, what was it? It was 4 6-packs in a box, pretty much. And then I also got a sticker, because I like putting stickers on my water bottle. So yeah, I got a sticker that says Dorothy Malter Museum. Put on my water bottle. Vinyl sticker, of course. Also, there was a scavenger hunt, which, let me find it. There it is. It was a scavenger hunt where you had to find like little minifigures of things, and if you succeeded, you got a sticker. I wanted to put this on my water bottle, but it's a paper sticker, so I cannot. But I still have it. We celebrated my friend's birthday, had birthday cake and such. And then the next day, we packed up and left to go to a place called Iron World. Formerly called Iron World, now called the Discovery Center. It was really cool. It had so much stuff all at once that it was really cool. They had mini golf. We didn't do that, though. They had a trolley ride that we went on, which was going around the like 25 by 25 mile area that they have. It's huge, and we got to see a bunch of stuff, and it was really cool. And I will let you know that like northeastern Minnesota is rich full of iron, and a lot of the rocks there are just red like Mars. And so there's a lot of mines around there. And so there was a little mine there as well. And excuse me, I'm a little tired. So yeah. And then there was one section And there, like, we watched a presentation on the Titanic connections to Minnesota. I want you to take a wild guess how most of them were for. Minneapolis, St. Paul area, yeah. There were a few from, like, Virginia, not the state. There's a town in Minnesota called Virginia. It's, like, on the way to Ely. Connections to Virginia, Brainerd, Ely. Mainly Minneapolis, St. Paul. Like, when I say mainly, I mean 90% of the connections were Minneapolis, St. Paul. So yeah. A little, just, not even in my hometown. For privacy reasons, which I'm not saying. Although my hometown is pretty small, so, yeah. Well, big for the rural area, but small compared to other towns everywhere else. At the Discovery Center, I also got a sticker put on my water bottle that says "Born and Raised in the Midwest," because that is true for me. Although, like, I really just consider North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota part of the Midwest. Everyone else you don't count. And then we stopped at Pizza Ranch to eat, and they had free vinyl stickers, so I put one on my water bottle. That's the most stickers I've ever put on my water bottle in one trip. Previously held by when I went to Cape Cod, where I got a Cape Cod sticker and a Cheers Boston sticker. And so now I'm home. Trip's over. I'm sad. But I just made the homemade root beer kit because my mom was like, hey, we should get one so we can make it because it'd be cool. So yeah, I just made it, currently brewing. You can see some of the yeast activating. And we will see how it turns out in a few days. It's a little bulgier than it was before. So the yeast is definitely working, mixing and making carbon dioxide. And yeah. Now I will say that if you want to make this at home, like this recipe, I will literally let you know that it's just water, root beer extract, sugar, and yeast. I have, like, you don't even need the kit. You just need the recipe. And I have the recipe somewhere. Where did I reorganized my room, and before I got the kit, there it is. Before I got the kit, when I went to the museum last summer, I got just an instruction kit, just because. Never ended up making it until now. But if you want the recipe, just let me see. If you want the recipe to make it at home, here's a picture. All you need is the recipe, and that's it. So, and then a sealable 32-ounce container. So, like, it's definitely best to get the kit. Because, like, it's fit for the kit and has a sealed cap. But you don't have to. And, like, I will say, it probably won't be as good as the actual root beer, which the actual root beer is literally the best I've ever had. And if you want to get it, it's, I don't know if there's L&M Fleet anywhere else other than Minnesota. But, like, you can sometimes get it at L&M Fleet, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, there we go. Camping trip.